What's up? Ryan Kohler here with Refer, and this is your training on how to install ReferBuddy and get set up and ready to go. So, first things first, you got to go over to the Chrome store. We most likely provide a link, but if you don't have a link, go over here, type in ReferBuddy, all one word, and it's going to bring you over here to where the extension's at. And all you got to do is just click Add to Chrome, add the extension, and it's now going to show up here in the upper right area of your toolbar. Now, the next thing you want to do, come up here to the top and pin it, which will make sure that it shows up all the time. And so that way it's always going to be sitting there, just this little icon with a guy there, anytime you want. So now I could go over to, say, Indeed. Sorry, I signed in a different account. Let's say that I went over and I was looking at a job ad that I wanted to rewrite. I'm just going to go and find a job for a marketing manager here in St. George, just so I can use it, right? Now, when I come in and hit the extension the first time, it's going to want me to log in. And so I need to create an account. I can create an account putting in a name and email address, and this will allow me to sign in, or I can sign in with Google. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Google really quick here, and it's going to get me signed into the account. Now, once you're in here, it does ask some profile information as far as, what is your current role? What industry do you work in? All of this stuff is going to provide us with more information to help us provide you with, all kinds of good stuff. And so I can go ahead and hit save, and this creates for me my account, and I now have access to it. Now, inside of the extension, as of right now, your profile's there. We have to enable it, so we'll get your information. We'll enable the different parts that you should have access to so that you'll be able to actually go in there. You can, of course, at any point in time, click edit, come in here and update your information about your role, etc. Now, once we've given you access, I'm going to show you what it looks like in real use. Here you can see I can put in, different kind of work that I normally do. I can choose different options about what tools I use. All this information we use both for building our AI threads and creating FAQ articles and that type of stuff, so you have access to it. You can see here there's a number sitting here next to it. This gives us access to different parts. Now, let me just jump over to another window and I'll show you what it looks like in actual use. So once it's set up the right way, the next time you come in, you'll now have access to different parts. And so part number one will be the FAQ area. We're building in recruitment marketing and HR FAQs, and they are page specific. So when I'm in a certain system like an ATS system, it's going to give me FAQ articles about how to use my ATS better, etc. Or the threader right here, which gets me access to what you really came for, which is how to start AI conversations. We give you access to different drop downs in here based off of what your role is and based off of what you bought and unlocked. And so you might have job seeker access, you might have HR person access, you might have marketing person access. We build these drop downs based off of your given role. The very first thing you're going to need to do is to start with this, who are you? And who are you is really basically an employer would be a good example. I just come in here and add new. I type in my employer name, let's say 321 Forms. And then I want to type in a list of answers that are going to provide information to ChatGPT about who we are. Company name, our size, the industry you're in, this character diamond, where do we fit in the industry? Are we the big dog? Are we kind of in the middle? Are we a disruptor? Are we focused on, are we the people who care most about the customer? Are we niche focused? Are we a disruptor? Are we a startup? What do we do? Why do we do it? Who do we help? How do we approach our mission and our jobs in that industry? What's our culture like? What are our core values, etc., etc. Now, these are just a list of questions I suggest you use. There's a couple different ways to get this information. You can go grab it off your career site. You can go grab it off your About Us page. We kind of want both. We want information about the company itself, meaning from who we help and how we help them and what we do, what our products are, what our industry is, as well as information about you as an employer. The other option is that we can help you create this information. Either we can hop on a Zoom call and interview you and gather it, and then we'll create something to plug into here. Or you can go through our quick audio interview, which will go back and forth with you, and then we'll create it for you. The better this information is, the better all of your future stuff will be. Now, that said, many employers will only have one in here. But if I have multiple locations, departments with different cultures, if I work with multiple different companies, anything like that, let's imagine that, say, I'm a hotel chain and we have 5 different brands that we work with, or I'm an assisted living or nursing home group and we have 5 different company names, then I would create 5 different in there. When it comes to recruiting, this has to do with our career sites that we use, has to do with our job ads that we use, has to do with all that type of stuff. If I was, say, a consultant, I might have a bunch of different ones of these for each of my customers, etc. And so that's kind of the who are you. Now, just the average HR person would most likely have one for their company and one for them individually. If this was my individual one, I would actually put my, my professional profile for Ryan in here, and I would actually put in something akin to my resume, right? And so, so that I could use that for writing a new resume, for applying to jobs, etc. If I'm creating the content, it's really whoever the content is for. You can add a bunch of these in here. There are limits to how many. Based off the package, it comes with enough for the average HR person to use it. In the future, there will be settings where you can go here and edit them. Now, the second thing, you might want to set up your default tone of voice. Say that you're normally witty and you click add as default. This is going to store it in there for future use. And then finally, depending on what you're trying to do, you might want to put in additional details. From an HR perspective, this is normally a job description, or it's about the job, or it's about the individual, meaning like a resume or a transcript. Technically, it can be both. So for the average HR person, I'm going to go in here and create something for each of my jobs where I come in, I put in a job title, and I put in the requirements for the job, the personas, who we're targeting, why they would want the job, anything I do about the job. And so the drop down is most likely going to include your core roles at your company. Now, if you hire and have 5 or 10 people who do the same job, or you hire for the same job in multiple locations, you don't need to add it in there multiple times. Once is enough. So, Neaters has a grill cook job, or YMCA has a bus driver job, or restaurant staff, or whatever the case may be. I'm generally not going to store an individual's resume in here. And so it's possible, for instance, if I was in here saying, I want you to review a candidate for a job, I would choose my company that I work at. I would choose, hey, I want you to review their resume. I want to choose the job they applied for. And then I would copy and paste in their resume into this box, right? And so that way it's not storing the resume, but it's storing everything else. And when I do that and press generate, it's now going to, in fact, let me grab my resume really quick here. I should have one on here. So I could use a resume in this instance. I could use my LinkedIn profile. I'm actually just going to copy and paste from my LinkedIn profile and plug it in here. And so basically I'm saying, look, I want you to review me as a candidate. I'm going to change this up really quick. Let's use that I want to work at Frazzle. And I want you to do a resume review. And I'm going to apply for their customer success product manager job. And then right here, I'm just going to say, here is Ryan Kohler's resume. Now, clearly, you don't need all of this contact info in here, and so you could delete this out, right, so that it's not in there. You don't have to put in that person's information, and hit generate, and that's going to now create for me the thread I want to copy into ChatGPT. So this is probably the most extensive use. Just press copy, click on ChatGPT because that's where I'm going to put it, and paste it, and effectively it's now going to do a resume review. Now this entire kind of top piece of information is all of the prompt engineering we've done for you. That's basically all the time we've saved you based off of it's including your company information, the job information, everything that you put in there, plus our prompt. And so it's doing an initial, a resume review. and how I align with the company and job relevance and all this kind of stuff. Basically, I could do that over and over and over again for all the different people who applied for a job, or I could use this for anything else that's in there. And so the goal of this video just to kind of show you how to get set up. If you log in, and I'll show you what this looks like. If you log in, and when you come in here to ReferBuddy, it doesn't have the options for the threader, just shoot me an email, Ryan@Refer.io. We'll get you set up the right way and get you the right access level. But we're excited to have you using ReferBuddy. And as soon as you sign up, we will follow up with you and make sure we get you set up and all ready to go. So we'll talk to you soon. But thanks so much for trying out our new tool.